I got the main scene. And I believe you'll see me. It does have a feedback loop. Not sure why. I think I have to mute YouTube and everything. Let's try that. Okay, now testing, testing. Okay, I think I haven't turned off the right. I have to mute something else here. There. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. I turned off the sound to both of the streams that I'm monitoring here, so that way I don't get the feedback. I don't know if you heard the feedback, but it's quite annoying when I'm trying to listen to myself when I'm talking. Do you imagine people who have to listen to me all the time, like my students in school? Yeah, it's funny because like we said we were going to do a live streaming event on the first Sunday of every month, but this month, February, came so quickly. By the time I figured out it was the first Sunday, it was already Monday. So that was a little late. But when I got to school the next morning, the kids were asking me if I did it and why I wasn't. The kids who like find me on Facebook and see my the broadcast that we make. So I guess they're keeping me honest, huh? Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to try to let's see if I can do this. Don't know what that is. I have this big box here. I'm not sure what it is. Do you see that big box that I'm moving around? Huh. Yes. And I'm moving it around. Okay. So I don't know what that is. Wait, I just clicked on it. Something came up. Screen share. Hmm. Okay. Now I have to find what it is I'm sharing. Oops. Recording stop for free plan. Yes, we are on a free plan of this. The regular plan cost for our recording software cost $19, but we don't really want to save it anyway, so we're fine. Everyone's sending me money. Okay, so 9 minutes sending messages. Frame, start screen share, maximize. Okay, let's try this. Oh wow, that is not what I want. That isn't either. Maybe I have to go to active. Why am I not able to share this? Don't want that. I am in Chrome. Why isn't it showing the Chrome tab? Don't want the entire screen. I could do the entire screen. I could do this. And this doesn't look good. No, we only have 3 minutes now to work out this problem. I could bring. Oh, ah, ah. But I want the Chrome tab. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move this over here. Maybe that will solve my problem, and it did. No, it did not. I would have closed this there. Now select a tab to share. Why will it not also share tab audio? Don't want to share the tab audio. Why won't it? Yeah, I know. Who's on there? Tom, you're there. Hi. So Tom is our newest volunteer. And wow, you're right. You're actually 2 minutes late. Can you sign off? No, 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 no. They're still working out the technical difficulties. We use a free service called EV Mux to stream to put everything together, and it's not letting me open up the tab I want. I can do a window, but I don't like that either. Okay, there it is. There, but still, that isn't as nice as I would like it to be. Yeah, but it's there, but it doesn't look as yeah. It's not clear at all. Not as yeah. I'm gonna do there. I removed it. I'm gonna try to put it on again. Add to screen share. Hmm. Why doesn't it have it it isn't larger? I don't like that either. Well, I already know I'm on Facebook, and I know I'm on YouTube. Says I'm gonna close out everything, and hopefully it will come up with what I want, and it doesn't. Why doesn't it like that? Why doesn't it like that? There's only one thing I want it to use. Okay, screen share, Chrome tab. It doesn't recognize the Chrome tab. A window? Also doesn't recognize the window. There it goes. Okay. Huh, and it's the same thing. Why does it no. It's as large as it'll go. In this window, I can do that. I can try this. There we go. But still it doesn't better, but oh, there we go. Okay, so it's just playing around with it a little bit. Okay, so I think we're ready. I wanna keep it that size. Can't see you guys in back of it, and you should be over to the right. I can see you g I wonder if I can enlarge this. Oh, that won't work. But, I wanna have what I'd rather have can you see the cursor that moves around on my screen or not? You don't see a cursor going over our logo? Hmm, well, just wondering. Okay, so I guess we can talk about what's going on. So this is, do you see the banner, running along the bottom that says Vista Alegre campaign, welcome? Okay, good. And then if I move this, you can see what's in back, which is when they were putting in the floor. And yep, and this what I could do is add you guys. Whoa!
Oh, whoa, don't do that.
Oh, hey, is it like an earthquake there? Alright, move you over. Tom, I should put your name and volunteer, but well, I think that yes, wow, that's nice. It does have your name. Okay, there. Now we're all on the over on the left-hand side. If anyone else shows up, we can put them up there too. We have some space for more people. Okay. So we're back to the there you go. Okay. So welcome to anyone else who is watching us. And here we like to introduce myself. My name is Ben Angulo. I'm the director of Amazon Pueblo, also a longtime volunteer in the village. The first time I went there was back in 2010 on vacation when I was teaching science in Bogota, Colombia. Um, then the person I visited, Gustavo, he's our main contact in La Libertad, asked if I could do something to help them. And I didn't think I could at the time, but I came back to finish my science certification in the States. I took a class in environmental science, and we had to do a final project. And I picked trying to help La Libertad as my final project. which eventually grew into a nonprofit, which we're now all associated with. So that was over the past 13 or so years since we became a nonprofit in Maine. 13, 14 now. It's 2026. Dianne, you want to say a little bit about yourself, please?
I'm a school teacher in Mid-Coast, Maine. I have been part of Amazon Pueblo for, oh my goodness, how long has it been? Uh,
I think it was 2014, maybe. I think that's when I
yeah,
started working at
it's been a
Seton.
while. Um, and I'm the treasurer. We've I also sponsor students.
And Tom?
Oh, my name is Tom Hardy, and my background is in natural resources management. I've largely worked as a seasonal technician for federal agencies like the Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management, and also state agencies where I've done fish habitat surveys, stream surveys. I've done forestry work. I've done seedling stocking survival surveys when it comes to silviculture in the Pacific Northwest. Basically, is where I work. They plant out the young trees after a clear cut, and they have to do surveys on them and make sure that they're coming along well. They haven't died off and that kind of thing. And so each year, I've usually worked about 5 or 6 months, and then I've had to figure out what the heck that I've wanted to do the rest of the time. And fortunately, I started my career by doing a Peace Corps stint in Peru. So I had a lot of ideas, and I was quite proud of the fact that Peace Corps allowed me to learn Spanish and that the changes that took place in me as a result of reading books and doing that initial assignment where I helped develop the Huascar. While I was the field person, one of the field people that went out to collect data for the development of the Huascar National Park, which is in the state of Ancash. But I was also at Uri Magris, though. In the early part of that assignment, there was a woods assignment there, and I had kind of a so experience there, but was able to do a tremendous hike with the Chihuahua Indian from Moyobamba and come out at Chachapoyas, so over an old mule trail that originally conducted mail and that kind of thing before the advent of aviation. So that was an exciting trip. Anyway, I've never lost a fascination for South America.
Good, thank you. Now, what's interesting is I just talked with a nonprofit. It was in La Libertad. They left on Friday, but they're working on a reforestry effort. So, do you have your ticket yet?
I don't. I expect to get that done this week.
Oh, good, excellent. Because they may be there, and I think it would be good for you to talk with them. I didn't even know you had the forestry experience, Sean. They really need. And I hope that they, oops, somehow I got that. I don't know how I did that. But they, why don't bring that to the background? See, more technical problems. They are trying to replant parts of it, especially with the older, with more valuable lumber, like
Oh yes,
cedar and other
yes.
things.
Oh, yes. My friend David Faust actually did work in forest inventory in Tarapoto back so many years ago in the early 70s. And he speaks Spanish, and we ought to hook him into conversations with some of the plans that you have. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, I know. So one of the things we like to work on is networking as much as possible and bringing other people into it. Like we had a videographer that went down last year to around, was it last 2 years? 2 years? No, it was last year. Don't know how long he's been there, but we're trying to get him involved in taking more video of what we're doing in the work, and he puts them to really nice presentations, and we have some of those on YouTube as well. We get you guys down at the same time. He may be down there in May as well, maybe May and June. I'm planning to go down there on the 20th of June, but I don't know if I'm going to now because we we're missing another day tomorrow. We've already had about 6 or 7 snow days that we've had, and other days off. But I hope to be down there at the same time as you guys. So the point of today is to go over the backstory and kind of the interesting things that happened um, from the newsletter that was recently published. I believe that you guys both have the newsletter. Yeah, I sent it out yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday? It seems like a long time ago. Yesterday or Friday.
I think
But
it was
here it is.
yesterday.
Yeah. So it's building our future, building the future, our journey in Vista Alegre. It even moves. How is the size of that? Can you guys read that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good. So what I'm not going to do is read everything I have written because that's one of the most boring things if you send in presentations or in school. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about the people in the image and kind of what they're doing. So all of these people support our project, but they're both affiliated with La Libertad, the first village that we've been working with, but also with Vista Alegre, more so with Vista Alegre, especially the people in the middle. This is Albert and her daughter Juliana. They're on the extreme left and extreme right, and both of them they are the owners of where I stay, my apartment, Leticia, and they're also our contact people for anything we need sent down through Amazon.com. Amazon delivers to the Amazon. They're the only people I know who reliably do that, and their products work very well and are better quality than what I can get in Leticia. And they have just received over the past 3 weeks. They've been receiving orders from Amazon and Albertson buying things they need to support the new project expansion we have in the village of Vista Alegre. Vista Alegre is about an hour away by slow boat from La Libertad. It's further upriver on the Peruvian side, whereas La Libertad is on the Colombian side. And La Libertad is about 3 hours upriver by slow boat, depending on how loaded it is, um, from Leticia, where they're now picking up all the supplies, and where Tortas Malou is, which is the business that they own, which makes really delicious tortas, which are cakes in Spanish. And we also picked up the project bought a cake for the workers here who came down. They left at about 4 o'clock in the morning to arrive about 7 o'clock here, 7:30, and met with Albert then. And then after that, picked up all the supplies, electrical supplies, and went to the next part, which we're going to see a little bit later, and picked up the solar panel. Questions? Questions? This is the main project they're working on now. The guest house has been finished, except for some of the painting, putting the finishing touches on shelves and things, and also screens. They had to pick up some screens, which are very expensive in a smaller city next to where they live, but they have to go down to Leticia again and pick it up.
Hey,
So,
Ben, I had mentioned that I picked up a draw knife for myself. I was very, very pleased with it. I just use it to take off sprouts that are coming out of my hybrid poplar trees. But it's a draw knife, and there's a lot of control and a lot of force. And I mean, I know they could use that. I'll order one. I'll make sure one comes in on that Amazon order because it's going to be so useful in boat building, and then also some of the on the left there, those boards you could use it as a plane,
Yeah,
a controlled plane,
I believe they
and
would love it. I mean,
I,
they
I
have
I'm
they don't
sure,
have a lot of good tools. I mean, they don't. No,
yeah.
not quality
I was
ones.
going to ask about the tools, but it sounds like I got my question answered. So there you go.
We're supplying them with more tools. You pick up more for them. And in that Tortoise Malou, my apartment at Albert's, I have a lot of the Makita tools, the cordless ones, which really speed up and make it a lot easier to work. Otherwise, it's very hard, very labor intensive. They have all hand tools, unless we provide any kind of power for them. And
Hmm.
then in the background, can you see the cursor going
Yeah.
over the bathroom?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
good. So now I'm able to do this. So this is the bathroom they put in. This is one of the first bathrooms they have in the area, and will have a tube. I believe you might be able to see it in the background, and it goes down. We're going to put a door in. He's going to expand the roof so it won't get wet. Anything that's wet causes the buildings to rot very, very quickly. The posts you see here are called corazones, which means hearts, which is heartwood, and it's taken from one of the hardest trees they can find, and then they take the hardest wood out of the hardest tree. So this should last at least 10 years, if not more. Which
Oh, oh,
one of the things we need to do to take care of the maintenance, the best wood we can use. They also have an interesting topic about it being the wood, they can only cut it during certain times of the month. And if it's the moon isn't right, and if they cut the wood at that time during the day, not at night, but if the moon isn't in the right phase, then it will be, you'll have insects in it. Insects, mold, rot, everything, and it won't
Oh,
last. And
I can add that I had a garden one time that had posts around it and a fence to keep cattle and deer out of my garden, and I found that I was able to use young Doug fir, but it was softwood, and I needed to worry about rain splash and rot of the posts in the ground. So what I did is I got number 10 tin cans and took the bottom out so there could be a collar, and then I put cement. I put the post in, and then I put cement around that. And of course, what you have to worry about is the rain splash, because the rain hits the soil, and then well, if the soil isn't covered with vegetation, it'll tend to bounce back up with the microbes on the wood and rot it. So I use copper naphthenate, but we aren't going to be wanting to use anything like that down there on the woods. Probably there's natural preservatives in the wood itself, though it sounds as if
some of
that
them are like they have a cedar wood, which is very rot resistant. They also use a combination of gasoline and brea, which is tar, gasoline
oh
and
yeah,
tar,
yeah,
and
yeah.
put that over it, which isn't very healthy either. But at least it keeps the wood. So
Yeah.
the balance between how environmentally friendly things are, or replacing the wood. So it kind of, I'm not sure what the cost benefit is of that, but we try to minimize the problems just by covering everything with roofs, and again keeping the rain, even if it bounces off, like you said, which it usually does, away from the wood. That's our lore. Next, this is traditionally how they do all the construction. They all of these were milled with a chainsaw. Everything you see here was just cut with a chainsaw. It's pretty wild. Um, pretty good chainsaw workers. Then the roof is actually a nicer roof than what we usually get. It comes pre-painted, so it offers another degree of rust protection from it. And you can see the boards are down here, and this is the kitchen. So what you see down here on the bottom are not for the floorboards; those are actually for the walls. And he just picked up some of the floorboards um, within the past week to finish a lot of the construction.
mm,
And there's another thing which is I'm kind of proud of here in the village in Vista Alegre is that Roberto, he's the main contact person, kind of like Gustavo and La Libertad, is very good at keeping records. And I have him give me an estimate of everything he needs, and that has it so he's organized and can buy what he needs without either going too much under or too much over. So that way I can send exactly what he needs, both for labor, for food, for supplies, and it's worked out very well. And he also gives me the receipts after he does the buying, so I'm very happy with that. And that is Roberto. And this is probably, I was thinking this is the morning that we went down, but it wouldn't have been because the sun always rises at about 5:30 in the morning and always sets at about 6 o'clock at night. So this is before one of his work days, probably when he's going to pick up wood. And sometimes they eat, as I mentioned, I think in the message below, breakfast, lunch, and dinner can all be fish. So if you don't like fish, then you bring a lot of. So Tom, do you like fish?
Oh, I like whatever they eat. I eat. There is no problem there.
Okay.
I've never had any problem.
They tell me the fish is very, very good. I don't like fish, but they say some of it is excellent. It's like some of the best fish you can have in the world. I don't know how much other fish they've had from other places. And this is after this is the morning when they picked up all the supplies from Tortas Malou. and also the solar panel. And this is everything getting organized. Then they get a small transport that takes everything down onto the boat. They load it from the transport onto a raft, then from the raft onto a boat, a covered raft. And we had quite a bit of stuff. This is organizing things, pots. We have some pans too. The spray paint is to put on the underside of the stove that they picked up, and then they're going to use mesh, wire mesh, to put around and either bolt or use sheet metal screws to attach to the bottom of the stove, because if you don't, rats will crawl up into the stove and start living there. Probably even when I'm cooking, there are rats that are under there. I would not be surprised. And if not rats, then cockroaches. So everything has to be covered. We lost one of our refrigerator freezer units one time because a family of rats chewed through the side of it and started making a nest around the compressor motor. So we now have to take and use wire mesh, and cover every kind of hole or anything that's soft enough so the rats can chew through it. And they're not the nice jungle rats, they're the nasty trash rats.
Mm.
They're particularly huge down there in the jungle. It must have something to do with the heat.
They're the jungle rats are the big sized ones, the ones you're talking about that can be, oh, it can be 2 feet long. 2 feet? Yeah, but it's about two, maybe a little bit longer with a tail. 2.5, I'd say. And they eat those. But those rats eat fruit and other things from the jungle,
Oh
fruit and
yeah,
probably insects.
it's the world's large. It's Mahas. It's the capybara. It's the
Capybara.
largest. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking, they eat real rats, huge jungle rats,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I, don't know, I have a picture of them people eating at one place, but they don't eat the trash rats. I think it was the Asian rat is what I'm thinking of, which is pretty much everywhere in the world now. But these are some other species of Amazonian rat, natural rat, um, that they eat. And this is Energy Sun, the company where we buy our solar supplies, and Roberto brought down everything that he had. Um, our 12-volt battery that used to be used in the Libertad until we switched to 48 volts, and was reusing it in order to power the solar system. In the background here, you see a 635 watt solar panel, and this is the owner, Christian, and I can't remember the technician's name, but they're teaching. I think I have in one of the next. There they are. They're teaching Roberto's son and Roberto and his brother-in-law how to make all the connections, what everything is, how to monitor it, and how to maintain it and install it so they can do it themselves, which saves money that they don't have to go up, the technicians. Plus, they have to be able to know and understand what they're doing, or else they won't be able to solve problems when they come up. Problems always come up. Like, there are always one problem or another. They're working on the base. These are they call that aluminum post to aluminum supports for the roof of Roberto's house, and it's actually large enough. I don't have. There's another picture I have. Oh, actually, it's in not a picture, but in one of the videos that shows that it has enough for 2 more solar panels. So I hope to have, through fundraising and things, be able to supply 1 more solar panel this summer when I'm there, and that will make it so it will be more lasting. Last week they called me up when I was in school, and they were like, "It doesn't work anymore. It's broken. We think it's broken. The battery's dead." And it had rained for 3 days straight, and they kept using it to make phone calls and lights and other things, and they completely discharged it. When they discharge the battery, the charge controller no longer recognizes it as being an active battery, as being a working battery. So even when the sun is back up, it still won't charge. So they had to disconnect everything, physically disconnect all the wires, turn off all the power coming from the solar panels, and reset it all, then connect everything in the proper sequence, and then it came back on, and they could start to recharge the battery again. That took us like 2 hours. So but again, they're learning it. So we do this over and over again, but we're teaching it to them. And that's part of what we want to do in the project. We just don't want it to come in and do things for people. We want to teach them to be able to do it themselves. Kind of like give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime.
So I'm not sure if putting up placards with rules on them. I mean, what have we learned from what you just said? You might want to have that in Spanish near the electrical equipment so it doesn't
Yes.
happen again. I don't know how they would.
What I've done is send them down detailed instructions in Spanish, step by step, in the order of what to do. And that's pretty much the only way as long as they don't lose their cell phones. But I can also resend it if they get another cell phone and just keep sending it. And that way they can go back and look in the conversations. I found that WhatsApp has been a really effective way for us to communicate and
Yes.
save the conversations, and it works.
Yep.
And there they are putting the solar panel up. It looks like it only has space for one more, but they said two. So maybe it's how the depth looks. It's pretty wild. And there's Brian. He just hooked up. He put the charge controller on the wall. You see a power inverter, which changes the voltage from 12 volts to 110 volts. And then the 110 volts, they can take off and use it for anything they need. Um, it works on 110. Unfortunately, um, Vista Alegre in Peru uses a 220 volt system, so everything has to be changed from the 110 that this puts out into 220 if they have electrical devices that need that voltage amount in the village, which we also have some like solutions for little by little. And this is the charge controller working, and it's very, very they didn't have good sun today. It was very overcast. Like just a rainstorm had just passed through. And where it should have this right here is showing 47.3 volts. It should be showing more like 400 or 500 volts when the sun's out and it's strong. And this is only showing 2.46. And I believe with one solar panel, it should be showing more like 40, 35 to 40 amps. And the voltage is 12.79. At 12 volts, the battery is completely dead.
Oh
So
yeah.
12.79 is probably 1/4 full, and a full battery in this is about 13.4 because the way that the solar cells we're using a lithium ion battery made. So you guys getting all these down? You're writing all this down? You're gonna
So based on what you gave me, I kind of gave that to AI, and they kind of came up with a flow sheet to show how to link sets of batteries to make So I don't know that much about it, but I'm willing to learn.
Actually, that's just interesting. It's a real good point. AI has worked. I'd like to have those guys learn how to use AI. And again, the more things they can do to read and keep reading. That's why one of the first things we do is put it in solar power and then get internet and get them a phone or have them hook up their phones. Is because if they use it as a tool, it can just help them so much, solve many of their own problems, communication, and eventually will help with school, with work, with tourism, with everything. Yeah, communication.
Yeah, I wonder if we could work an angle with Khan Academy. Khan Academy has a tremendous library of videos on how to do things, and it's in Spanish as well.
Yeah,
And
we have. I have had some of the scholarship kids on Khan Academy before, and they
uh,
upgraded the platform a couple of years ago that works pretty well and actually can track it. It's not just the videos, but it's a whole program. Diane, have you used Khan Academy at all in your school? Do you know people or teachers who use it?
No, I have not.
It's pretty neat. It's kind of like you've heard of Alex, the math program, right?
Yes. Yes,
It's a
I've used
little bit like that, a little bit. Now we use iReady at Oceanside Middle School, my school, and sometimes it's difficult to get the kids to do it,
it.
but
Yeah,
yeah. But Alex worked very well for math.
I like Alex.
Yeah, yeah. He's a nice guy. Yeah. Okay, let's see him. Okay, so this is a power. This is a power regulator, not power regulator, a surge protector, and it translates the 220 that comes in and takes out the power spikes or the lows or brownouts. And that we really need too. They said that a lot of electrical devices in the village in Vista Alegre are blown out from power problems. And there you see it right there. And you can see I'm circling it with my cursor. This is the new Starlink Mini. And I found out a lot about Starlink minis too, because we have a regular sized and one of the older versions of Starlink in the Libertad, but the new one has a built-in router, which I did not know. And because of that, it doesn't go very well through the metal roof, so they get a bad signal in the house. They actually get a better signal when they're on the front lawn outside of the house. But we are picking up a router for them that goes along with this version. I think a router version 4, which they could hook up in the inside and we'll be able to broadcast and have some more robust signal and also take more connections. And with the extra bandwidth they have, they're going to be selling the extra internet to make money to pay for the monthly fee. They are doing it themselves. Like it's one of the things we said is that, look, we're not going to come in, buy it for you, and then pay your monthly internet bill. So their deal was the community, and Roberto and the community would be paying for it themselves. And so far they have. So we're pretty happy about that. Same deal in the Libertad. They're paying for that monthly bill as well. Yep. And this is the application they use to run it when it's in the village, and they had 2 devices at the time when I took the screenshot. It really works. Oh, the cat's trying to get out. I have to let the cat out.
We're both encountering pet problems.
Oh yes, the animals have their world also.
So these are kind of the next steps. So what we're trying to do now is put the router that I just talked about in Vista Alegre. We're also going to finish painting, finish the beds, build shelves, tables, benches, and a pantry with a rat and insect-proof pantry, and tiling the shower floor so all the water doesn't completely rot out the floor. And I'm going to be arriving in June to do a lot of the finishing touches on the electrical connections because that's somewhat beyond most people in the village. Maybe someone who does real electrical work, a real electrician, could could definitely do it. But the people who do their own power there can't, especially because we're using a dual voltage, should be a dual wattage system of 12 volts, and then converting that over to 110, and then converting that over to 220, or 220 back down to 110. So a little confusing. And I want to include this to shows how much work goes into this.
Oh,
I mean, they are right there. They're cutting everything with the huge chainsaws. I think there's a 36-inch blade on it, 3-foot blade, and it's so heavy. This isn't cheap light wood. This is very, very heavy, dense wood. One of the things he insisted was that they get decent wood, and it's going to last a number of years. We put it together. We have it covered. We paint it. This wood could last 10 years, which is phenomenal for down there.
yeah. Years ago, when I lived in Washington D.C. on the weekends, I had on Saturday and Sunday I would. There was this individual that was out near Patuxent. Actually, the country's kind of wild out there in Maryland, and he would have me do different projects. And he had a lot of yellow. It's a soft wood, the yellow poplar that they have there in the south. Well, it's not the southeast. It's around the Washington D.C. area, and I would cut those trees down, and I would make boards out of them, and you have to stay with it. It's you kind of pick it up. It's not as hard as you might think. But I mean, if you talked with anybody, they would say, "Oh, that is dangerous as heck." And it probably is, but you just stay at it and learn, and
Yeah.
hopefully you don't make a mistake.
Yeah, if you do, that next time you probably won't. Hopefully not. Yeah. But that's Roberto's son and Roberto's brother-in-law, and they're carrying all that. But again, they carry it sometimes miles, depending on what the weather is like and how high the river is. Like it's very labor intensive. So they're subsidizing a lot of this with their work, so we don't have to pay people. But again, they benefit from it, so that's what is good. Then they put in these little boats that are overloaded way too much, and then bring the boat up. And that's loaded with, I don't know, probably 500 pounds worth of wood at least. Just incredibly heavy.
Oh wow!
The wood. And he said that's canela. some, which means cinnamon wood. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's surely, I don't know what our name or the species name is for it, but that's what they call it. He said, again, it lasts very well. And it may be from canela trees, from cinnamon trees, because I know they get the bark from it. And I know the bark and cinnamon is insect repellent. And if that is, it is an incredibly good wood to use.
Hmm.
Yeah, my friend Dave Faust, he worked in the Tarapoto area, and he was also down by Satipo. He had some projects down there, so I'm sure he's familiar with a lot of those names. I'll see
Yeah,
if I
I'd
can get it.
love to know. Yeah,
Okay, all
very
right.
interesting. And not just to know, for one thing, what the properties are of what we're using, but also to be able to classify them, put, English names in, and be able to use them properly. Use, maintain everything. Really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
You're talking about, hey, I'm on a community collaboration. So this actually have a video, and I could click on it, but then what happens if I click on it? Oh, wait, what's going on? There it goes. Oh, it really worked.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know if you guys can hear sound. I cannot because I turned my sound off, but I don't want to hear it. Not, but those are the Energy Sun people. That's Roberto. Oh, this is cool. I never knew I could do this. Now you see all the other things I look at all the time. Game of Thrones, really good. The Night of the Kevin's Seven Kingdoms. If Diane, I know you like that those type of movies too. I thought that was really good. Um, but
I
back
was
to
just I
this.
was just looking up the cinnamon wood, and I was looking at AI. It says Amazonian cannellone.
Huh,
Um, and it's a highly durable wood from the Amazon used for in-ground posts due to its resistance to decay.
huh.
Um, it has an aromatic bark similar to true cinnamon and possesses it's a very heavy durable wood.
Good.
Huh.
Yeah, you
Rot
found it. That's
resistant.
exactly what we want. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
they
rot
said it was
resistant.
very, very heavy, hard to cut. They actually broke their chainsaw when they were cutting
Yeah,
um, the first load of wood, which is why we're about a week or two behind.
yeah.
But interesting that you see all the electrical connections he's making over in the video, which is really neat. Those he called quick connects, and they make it so much easier. They're also polarity matched, so you can't inadvertently connect to the wrong polarity,
Hmm.
which is very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
I guess unless you don't know which one's is one red and one black, I don't think so. So yes, maybe they probably had the wrong polarity. But so far, no, that was one was red. Okay, good. Yeah. And that's another thing, really happy about the project and how it's been expanding in Vista Alegre now. They're very they're conscientious. They work hard. They're not a drinking community. They don't drink a lot of alcohol or use drugs. So they're in some ways that they have advantage of that compared to La Libertad, which has a lot of drug and alcohol problems, more alcohol than drug. But they also have it. So as we're talking, you can see everything they're doing, which is pretty neat. In fact, I'm going to take this. I believe I might be able to save this video yeah, I think I can save this video from YouTube because it's being recorded there. And I'll post this to YouTube as well. Now the cat's trying to get back in here. Let them out and then they want to come back in. Uh, let's see. But yes, the power inverter that you see the technician there holding up is a 2500 watt one. And that's the one we had in the Libertad, which stayed. And the one at Libertad was a 3001 watt one, which for some reason broke. And I think they may have hooked up our refrigerator or they had bad electrical connections or something, which they're going to have to check, which they should mean they would check or just not hook up the same things to it when they have the new unit. Yeah. And there's a multimeter. I have some multimeters up there too. In fact, Tom, when you're there, I can give you the number to the combination to the lock that opens up all of our good tools and our multimeter and everything. So you should keep going to AI and start learning how to use a multimeter, digital multimeter. This is self-ranging, auto-ranging.
Oh, I was going to ask you. Years ago, I picked up a little plastic block that allows you to plug into. It's an international electrical adapter kind of thing. I guess I better bring that along with
Yeah,
me.
bring it for Peru. You will need it.
Okay.
You should go to Peru too. I don't know if you know about the Vista Alegre one. I've been talking about it a lot, but that's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
we're heading right now.
I know where it would be.
Yeah, yeah, you should go to both places. And unfortunately, Gustavo has a little bit of animosity towards Roberto because the funds that we were exclusively giving to La Libertad are now being divided with those guys as well. So that's unfortunate, but we have had trouble with the mayor of La Libertad from corruption, from not keeping any kind of good records, not giving us the receipts for what he's buying with our resources. So we're no longer dealing officially at all with the government of La Libertad. We are continuing to support Gustavo as much as we can. Yeah. But we also want to be self-sufficient too. So both combination, self-sufficient in certain areas.
Yeah, that might be something that you want to detail a little bit more while I'm still here in the states. Whatever document you set your expectations, and I know there's been a lot to cover, but receipts are important, and I suppose anything like that has to be put into a Ziploc bag immediately, so it doesn't get wet,
Yes.
lost, and so forth. Yeah.
I don't know how many times well, that's one of the excuses the mayor used. So they had a huge cruise line. It had like, I don't know, 1,500 people on it, and they had people that came. They when the river is high is the only time when it comes because the river, it'll be like, I don't know, 50 feet uh, deep when the river's high, 50 or more. And they made a donation of 15 million pesos to the village, but that's just what the chief said. And then he never supplied any kind of receipt. Then he said it got wet and he lost it. So
Mhm.
that's one of the things that leaves him open to the
Yep.
accusations of
Yep.
corruption.
Yep.
And I think he probably did corrupt part of the money away. So he's part of his own problem. But
Yeah.
I no longer deal with him.
I went over to Luang Prabang in the country of Laos, and it's on the Mekong River, and it drains the Himalayas. One of the big rivers that comes out of the Himalayas, and the difference between the wet season and the dry season, and where the river laps, is just unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
It's 50 or 60 feet. It's amazing.
Yeah, we have the same deal. We have right now the river is going up a lot. In fact, it's a bit too much for some places. Some communities are flooding out. But when you're down there, it'll be probably, if you go down over the next few weeks, it'll be about the highest it will have been this year. And it'll slowly start going down in July. And then by August and September, it's to the point of when you have to walk 2 kilometers, like a mile and a half,
Yeah.
from the river to the community of Libertad, from
Yeah.
where the boat drops you off.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
there anything else? Let's see. I'm gonna go through the rest of this, and we said we were only gonna go until 7:30. We're going a little bit longer, but we don't have school tomorrow, so that's a good thing.
That's a
And I'm
plus.
gonna stay up late and watch the next episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, that's right. Yep. And I'm watching that too, so.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Okay, so unfortunately, I just closed out what I wanted to go to. Let's get there again. Come on. There we are. View in browser. And yes. See, I believe we were just pretty much down at the bottom. So be sure that. Did we talk about all this? Or I guess we did.
yep. Yep.
Mhm.
We can talk about it again. Yeah. Yeah.
Covered a lot.
Yep. And that's no. This is the end. And that's Davy. And Davy's up in the tree cutting branches. And this is probably about 20 to 30 feet up in the air. And they're very good climbers, very athletic people, like very much so. And there. So that's it. And again, we're always looking for more people to sponsor kids. So Tom, if you'd like to sponsor one of the jungle kids, or one of the kids in the village for education, is $140 a year, and it buys pretty much whatever they need to go for a year in supplies. But you can see if you want to do it down there. If you see there's someone you like one of the kids or one of the parents or whatever, you can sponsor a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're always looking for that. And I think
Yep.
there's links on the website to the student scholarship program.
Okay. Yep.
But that's it. So next steps. So I'm going to, if now I said this to the directors, but I don't think Tom, you don't know it. But if we don't raise enough money, like over the next week or so, that's what we're going to, then I'm going to have a vote to loan money to the project, which we'll take out of our future fundraising, either sales or whatever. Because right now we have to like continue along with the building. So we have the new router, which will help bring in money. Plus, when the building's done, the kitchen and the guest house, then we can start having tourists or either tourists and volunteers go, which will bring in income too. So it's important that we bring in income for the project and it becomes more self-sufficient. They're not at that point yet. And it's like the same deal with Gustavo. It took us years before Gustavo is self-sufficient enough, but he is 100% paying for all the internet, which is a big deal down there. Like it's more than they make in a month. And because he has people coming in through booking.com, because he has all of the buildings to support tourists and volunteers, he can do it. So that's great. And through him, we also have volunteers that help the other people in the community and the students. All the times we have volunteers who will teach English. Like we just had some English teachers in there last month, and around December, around Christmas and New Year's, they were there and doing crafts, and singing songs, and sharing culture. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, we try to do a lot. But again, we want people to be self-sufficient. That's what we're going for. And I probably will not. So if anyone's wearing, oh no, we're going to keep raising money, we're not going to bring any other villages into our system for a while. We're going to wait until everything's moving along smoothly before we start expanding to another village.
Okay. Well, I live in Washington, but I come over here to Idaho all the time, and there's a neat little college that actually is beginning to have a claim to considerable fame. It's a Lewis Clark State College, and I know they have a Hispanic program, and I've got the gal's name, and there may be a way that. Some of the expertise from the college here. There may be students can get some credits or something like that. I'll talk to her about it.
It's possible. We tried to bring down a college group, and they were very, very excited about it. But when they found out where it was, their insurance wouldn't cover them, and they couldn't
Well,
proceed officially.
yeah, it's those diseases and the snakes and stuff.
Yep.
But I
And
mean,
the cocaine processing and the violence, the pirates.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Ben, you
But
got down there, right? With
yeah,
your college group.
yeah.
How did,
No, I went down is because individuals can go and they can do a college
oh,
project, but they
oh,
can't go with under the umbrella of the school
oh,
officially.
okay. It
But
was different. Okay.
yeah. So you can encourage people, but they have to go down if they want to do some kind of research or do a thesis. They just have to, supply their own money. And I'm not sure. I don't know. That's interesting. You have to find out and ask. And it was just because one college couldn't. But I think they were going to go down as like a group, like a class, like 20 people all at once and everything.
Mm.
But that didn't work. I'm not saying that it won't though. It's funny. I keep looking at the charge controller to check how it's charging. Which I've done so much when I'm down there. Like, oh, how is it charging now? Like, it's still low. What's going on?
Yeah, I was listening to you when you were talking about those three sets of figures.
Yeah.
Hundreds, then about 40 or so, and then 12.79. That's going to stay the same all the way
Yes.
to death.
Yeah. But they have to get it, I'm curious. They were supposed to send me one in the afternoon, a picture of it to see how it was charging, but they didn't. So, but it could have been because they either forgot or were tired or busy, or it was so cloudy and there was no change. But I'm going to check again with them and see if because it really has to be above 13 volts, the number on the right. The middle number, the amps, should be charging about, I believe, at 35. I believe that's what that panel with the 12 volts with our system will be charging, about 35. And then the 47 is so low. The maximum capacity of that solar panel when it's being hit with the full sun should be about 600. and right now it's 47 in the
Yeah.
picture.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's kind of fascinating. Like you learn a lot. Like I've learned a lot of these things. This is the first solar work I've done has been with the project that we put our first little solar panel in like 2012, and then we've been working up from there. We have a pretty big system, pretty robust system in the Libertad, but the even the inverter, the power inverter to get 110 volts, is still it isn't a commercial one. The commercial ones would be over $1,000, and those are the ones that you can make mistakes on them, and it won't blow it out. It's just very, robust, very powerful. But the consumer ones we buy and bring down, which are affordable, they have to be careful with them. And again, I don't know what happened. It could have been something. It could have been a bug that crawled in the thing. For Christ's sake, yeah. You never know. Right.
It's electricity.
Yeah. When I was down there last year, it was 2 years ago, a snake had gotten into the village's generator, diesel generator, and shorted it out. And they didn't have the part to repair it, and it took them like I think it was like over a month, like 5 weeks before they eventually got it working again from the
Uh,
snake.
Here, stop. Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.
All right. Yeah, good. No, that's good. We already talked for 20 minutes longer than I expected. Thanks, you guys, for
We're
coming.
talking bugs and snakes now. I'm out of here. Okay.
Yeah, so, again, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna post this if I can hunt it down on, YouTube and find out where it is. I'm gonna post this later on our Facebook site, and then people can
okay.
see it
I
again and
enjoyed
learn more about it.
making your acquaintance, Diane. Thank,
Nice to
thank,
meet you.
thank you, Ben, for inviting me.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome. This is the first time
You'll
I've seen
never
you in
see
person.
me down in the jungle. No.
Yeah.
I'll have some info soon here for you.
Yeah, please, yeah, keep me
Send
informed. Like,
pictures.
I'm starting school again. Well, we're going back to classes on Tuesday, but we may have
Okay.
another snow day on Wednesday, another snow day on Friday, believe it or not. Did you see that, Dan? My word.
Yeah,
Yeah, but,
crazy.
yeah, so anytime after 3 o'clock is a good time to send me a message.
Okay.
What is that? 12 o'clock your time.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Okay. I'll
Again,
Okay,
keep
good
thanks,
that.
night.
everyone for
All right.
coming, and have a good
Yep.
evening.
All right. I'll talk to you later.